Just watched a video of Cortez and or Clint, and he just said that, which is very motivating to me right now, and it's helping me remember my track and my goals. Coming back right now into just getting into focused work. He said, if you're looking for that big budget now, and that's what guides you into what you get to, that's not gonna do anything for you, because if you can't create something with that $500 or less or whatever it is and create something good out of it, then what happens if you have that budget, the thing does well, and then that's your base level, and now you're trying to get to the next budget, but let's say that budget goes, and now you're back at you. Well, you're not really back at zero because you never started at zero, but you end up at zero. You're gonna get stuck because you're not gonna know what to do, right? And that makes so much truth to it, because as of right now, I don't know if you guys know, my plan is to get, some funding for this, right? And I think more so it's not necessarily about the funding, because the main thing I really just been thinking about instead of marketing is really just buying the stuff, really. And maybe just money for marketing ads. But realistically, if you can't create something from scratch, from something that's organic, that will feed the algorithm, that feed the person you're trying to find, then what else are you doing? Like what else are you reaching to, and how are you getting there? What are you doing to pursue that? Because money's not going to solve the problem. Money is going to solve the problem that you have after trying it and succeeding it, and now you need to reach the next level. Not you just started and now you're going to get to the next thing. So I think that's something that I just want to leave that with, because I don't think money is the root of all success, because and it will get you to certain areas of success, but Cortez doesn't spend a single dime on ads. He doesn't spend a dime. Maybe obviously the photographers, maybe a place if he needs to use it for a photo shoot, like the area, like renting someplace out or booking it for like an hour to whatever it is, right? But for the most part, zero, right? And how can you create that? And I think the biggest question for me is, how can I create that as not not streetwear focused, right? Like I'm doing luxury streetwear, classic men, high-end fashion, like a whole genre of that. But how can I create that for this, right? And what pieces am I going to use to create that? And it all has to go viral, because what if one thing goes viral and that's all I'm known for, and I have to pivot to that, or else I get lost, or I just continue to push everything out there. Like it's a journey that I'm going to come to figure out. And I think I don't want to hold myself back as much as I maybe tell myself to, or even yourself, right? So I think that's something that I just kind of, took a nice grasp on, and it's kind of good to hear from someone bigger, and just remember that he doesn't even spend money on ads. And I think that's something that I really want to get to in my own way, is how can I create that branding without having to put ads, right? Or not necessarily creatives, but necessarily the actual ad, like spending dollars for CPRs, cost per click, and CTR, whatever, click through rate, all that kind of stuff. Like, what if I can just bypass that and focus on this, and then have a great team later in the future be able to put something out there where it's also organic? So I think that's going to be the main steps for right now, is how can I make what I have now organic, authentic, aesthetically good, of course, and pleasing, but to the masses. And how can I do it at scale, and how can I do it at where I'm at now? Because I don't know if I've ever really said it, but this brand's only have 116 followers with 0 sales. I had a lot of sales, but it just ended up being chargebacks and a lot of other stuff. I think maybe in the past I fabricated just a little bit because I felt self-conscious, or I didn't want to feel less than. But I'm gonna be 100% honest, as of today, that it got sales, but it just got a lot of chargebacks. So and I think it was because it was just poorly, like I didn't market it well. Like I just made a couple of posts, kept posted consistently for 2 weeks. Third week I said it's live, and then I just stopped posting after that. And it's just like, that's not how it works. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the differentiator here, is consistency, creativity, and just creating. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave you with this, and hopefully by the end of this year we can sell some stuff. All right, bye.